Hi, I'm Joseph Khateri, realtor in the state of Virginia, and this past week, I tried making a living using the Instacart shopping app. And after a crazy 66 hours of shopping, I'm ready to share my experience, how much money I made, all of my expenses, and if it even is worth it or not. And make sure you watch until the end because I have a few tips on here that'll help you make a lot more money. Okay, so what is Instacart and what is this promo offer that I had? Well, Instacart is a popular online grocery delivery service, and it basically allows customers to shop at the comfort of their own home. They never have to leave their couch. Once an order is placed, the Instacart shopper, which was me in this scenario, we are dispatched to fulfill the order by, handpicking the items inside of the store from the customer's list. And then after we shop for them, we deliver it to the customer's door. So think of it as DoorDash, except we shop for groceries instead, if that makes sense. And the main reason I even tried Instacart in the first place is because DoorDash waitlisted me, which is really nice. And Uber, which was my original idea, requires a car made within the last 15 years. I don't know why they have that rule, but it's a rule. I have a 2005 Mitsubishi Galant, and it is only worth $1,600. Kinda looks like this bad boy right here. And as a new Instacart shopper, you're eligible for this promotion that they're holding right now. If you sign up using that referral code and complete 30 batches in the designated area, you are guaranteed to make $950 plus tips from Instacart. Please remember to use my referral code when signing up. It is on the screen right now, since that is the only way you can get this promo if you use someone's referral code. The direct link to sign up will also be in the description below. That'll bring you right to the sign up page, so go click that. Alright, day one. I live in Fredericksburg, so I decided to head up all the way up to Washington D.C. at 1 p.m. to start shopping. My specific promo would not work, or at least so I was told, unless I was in Washington D.C., so all the way up here. So anyway, on the first day, left at 1 p.m., had a pretty late start to the day in all honesty, but I thought it would be fine, because I was completely innocent and never did this before. But this trip took way longer than I expected. I think it's because I went during crazy peak busy hours on a Friday, and it took me 2 whole hours to get there. Pretty unusual in all honesty. Once I got there, I quickly went to work because I realized I am already crazy late in the day. It is 3 p.m. And throughout the entire day, I left at 7 something. I only completed 3 orders. But I think a lot of this was also because I was part of the learning process. And also, Instacart seems to somehow completely come to a halt around 7 p.m., which was also earlier than I thought. I was also dealing with the challenge that I could only use Instacart Apple Pay, since my Instacart physical debit card, that actually didn't even come into the mail yet, despite the fact that I ordered it 2 weeks prior. So this really limited the number of stores I was able to shop at, and I actually just went to a Wegmans inside of DC that was known as a busy zone and just went back and forth over and over from there. And as I progressed through my first day, I quickly realized a few vital points. There is a lot of stress involved when you're trying to find missing items or swapping out items on a customer's order list. I am a realtor and help people with the biggest purchase of their lives, and Instacart was more stressful. I don't know how. I got more stressed about not finding the right type of sliced turkey. Another problem was that driving and parking in cities was almost impossible. I mean, I kind of expected that. I grew up in New York City, it makes sense. Washington, D.C. is probably the same, and yeah, I was pretty much right. I pretty much always just double parked, and for those that don't know what it is, you basically force yourself anywhere on the street that you can, and then just put on your emergency lights, quickly drop off the item, and then get back in your car before you get towed. It's kind of like a weird gamble, actually. And I also found out that it was very difficult to listen to music while I was shopping. I'm a very, very big audiobook and just reader in general, so I thought that I could knock out an audiobook while I was there. Could not do that. But I would say the most important thing, at least starting out, is knowing the store's layout. I would definitely start Instacarting with stores that you've already shopped at, since the biggest way you can save time is by shopping faster. Crazy, right? Overall, not a great first day, but I did learn a lot. Alright, day 2. It was a bit of a rough one. I thought I was ready for anything, but I was definitely not prepared for a dollar store order. It took me an hour and a half to shop. And it wasn't even crazy items. I think it was 17 items in total. It was a double order, which made it even worse. And to top it off, I still didn't have the Instacart physical debit card. So I had to go back to the same Wegmans in DC to do any of the orders. Don't do dollar store orders because their inventory changes so fast that Instacart, the app, never updates it in time. So you pretty much have to message and replace every single item on the list. It is so frustrating. Don't do it. And also, I'm guessing it's because it was my second online activity day. My orders started getting timed. Every single one got timed and I was late on every single one of them. Anyways, I started the day at 8 a.m. and didn't get home until around 6:30 p.m. 10.5 hours of working, and I only got 6 batches done. And keep in mind that roughly 3 hours of it is just driving to DC and back. I'll admit, I did take a decent amount of breaks throughout the day, but it was tough to keep up overall. Also, I learned that double orders, they don't count as 2 batches towards the 30 that I need. They only count as 1. So not as easy as you think, even though you make a little bit more money. My main goal here is to do the smallest orders possible so I can get the 30 batches. I also realized that you have to figure out what's missing from the store ASAP because you have to message the customer for each one, and they take forever to respond. So at the end of it, if you're 5 minutes away from checking out and you just realize something's missing, they have 5 minutes to answer or else you're gonna go over your time limit. Overall, it was a really rough day, but let's hope the next day goes better. Alright, day 3. Just as I was about to go to therapy this morning, I opened the mail and guess what I found? I got all of the stuff. I actually got 2 different cards because I ordered it twice since it never came, but they both came on the same day. But I also got this lanyard, but it's blank, so I don't know what that is. But this should unlock a lot more orders for me from now on. Okay, so it is now 8:30 in the morning. DC is about an hour 15 away from me right now. For those wondering, I did fill up with gas. I think it was $42.90 something. So that's already the first expense of the day. And then I believe I spent about $12 on just snacks and breakfast food inside. That's already added to the list of expenses. That's not fun. However, I will say a lot of that gas was just because I was driving normally. That was not specifically due to Instacarting. I got a late start to the day. I thought it would be fine, especially since at this point I realized that my orders didn't necessarily have to be in Washington D.C. They could be slightly outside of it and it would be fine. I'm actually in a place called Woodbridge, which is south of D.C., but it is definitely not D.C. So I accepted a few orders in Woodbridge thinking, hey, everything's gonna go great. I still am late. I've shown many houses in that area. We're all good. I accepted an order in Woodbridge and it brought me to a new part of town that I have never been to. And, just by the looks of things, it did not look great. Outside of the grocery store, there was a large group of guys. All of them had their hoods up and they all had masks on. So I kind of just tried going around them. But as I entered the store, I ended up getting catcalled. I got called a bunch of different slurs, the C word in regards to my race. Basically just not nice stuff. And I'm very much used to this type of behavior. I grew up in New York City, I get it. So I wasn't really upset at the slurs or anything like that, but I was concerned for my safety. It was Sunday and it was insanely busy. In fact, I kept getting a order request every few seconds. Could I have continued? Absolutely I could have, but I don't know. I just didn't think it was probably a great idea. So I decided to just go home after that order and only got 4 done for the day. Maybe that's a key takeaway you guys should take. Know the area you're going in, and your safety should always be the top priority. I feel like that should be obvious, but I'm saying it anyways. By the way, everyone, I'm really only doing this promotion because it's a cool side hustle. There's a promotion going on, but my big boy job in the real world is I'm a real estate agent. If you are looking for a realtor or want me to hook you up with one, DM me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I always respond to all 3. I personally work out of Virginia, as you probably could have guessed at this point, but I have friends everywhere and free advice that I can always give you. And before we go to the next step, please take a moment to subscribe. I currently have about 350 subscribers and 91% of watchers aren't subscribed. So go subscribe, just do it right now. All right, it is now day 4. My goal for today is to do 6 orders. I have 17 total left until I hit the 30 marker. However, this promo ends on Saturday. I am kind of but I'm at Wawa. I'm gonna go fill up with gas and let's see how this day goes. Maybe it's a little bit better. Maybe I don't get hurled insults and maybe I can actually feel safe. Even though I woke up late and didn't start until 11 a.m., I managed to knock out 6 batches, pretty much all in the Alexandria area. So right here, right outside of DC. I finished up around 6:30 p.m. and it took an hour to get home. Pretty standard stuff. All in all, it wasn't a bad day at all. I was starting to feel pretty good about myself. I was catching on, feeling more comfortable, and I was thinking 11 orders, that doesn't seem that bad. I could actually pull this off. Plus, I wasn't at risk, which was nice. I figured 11 orders, that is roughly 2 days left. At this point, I have done 19 orders, so I like to think that I have a pretty decent idea of what's going on. So the pros, you're guaranteed at least $950 from this promo. You can also make your own hours, so you can work when you want to. You can also listen to music, audiobooks, or talk on the phone while you're working. Probably not at first, but probably once you get, I don't know, maybe 20 hours on the job, then you start getting comfortable. You don't really need to interact with anyone, so you can be a bit of a hermit like I am. And you also get very slight discounts when you become a recognized shopper with the app. So they have different tiers, such as the gold tier, platinum tier. Every tier gives you a little bit different perks, but in all honesty, I didn't really use any since I found out about this as I was nearing the end. Turns out I'm in the gold tier. Now the cons, because in all honesty, I feel like there's a lot more cons than anything. If you don't have any promotions, you either have to be really fast and really good at the job, or you're basically making minimum wage. You also need to have access to a very large city. So if you're in a rural area, this probably isn't gonna make you enough money to be sustainable. The work can also be pretty inconsistent, especially if you're not working during busy hours. So when I said earlier, you can make your own hours, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Also, all the expenses and wear and tear on your vehicle can add up. Thankfully not on a $1,600 car like mine, but you know, I still have gas I have to pay for. You also need a high rating to continue working, so you kind of always have to be on your toes. I believe if you go under, I think 4.5 stars or something like that, they just disable your account. The stress level is through the roof, especially on busy days or days when store inventory is low, so you have to switch out everything. You need to lift heavy things because occasionally you're gonna get asked to get them a, you know, case of water or something like that. So all in all, it definitely has its ups and downs. It's definitely not a 9-to-5 job, very much inconsistent, but if you're looking for something flexible and don't really mind the stress, it could be worth a shot. It is now my 5th day Instacarting. Every single window is completely frosted over, so that's really fun. It's like 27 degrees, I can see my breath. Let's just knock out these 5 orders. I'm hoping to be done by 5. As usual, I went back to DC. I left at 8 a.m. and got an order right away, so I thought it would be a pretty good sign. And I was actually feeling pretty optimistic that I was gonna get a lot of orders and make some good money, despite the fact that it was Wednesday, so just a random day of the week. I got 2 more orders, so I'm up to 3 now. My goal for the day was 6, so I got 3 more. I'm hyped up. I'm just not getting any. I have only done 2 orders. I'm even in DC. Apparently Wednesdays just are a ghost town. And then nothing for hours. It was so slow. I was just sitting inside of a Wegmans parking lot and I was just watching TikToks.
Ah, what do you know? Another vertical video. Would you like to know why I'm doing a vertical video? Because I only got 3 orders done today. I woke up at 7 in the morning. It is 4 p.m. It says it's gonna take 2 hours to get home. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this in time.
So I still had 8 orders left. I have never gone past 6 before, so I thought I have 2 more days left now. 2 more goddamn days. So I learned if it's not Friday to Sunday, you're gonna get very few orders, even in a big city. So it was a tough day. I was feeling very discouraged, as you can tell by, you know, how the videos went. But I think it's important to keep in mind that that's just how the job is sometimes. You know, this isn't a part-time job. This isn't a 9-to-5. In return for the flexibility, you will have inconsistency. That's just how it goes. So I don't know if I would rely on it as a reliable way to make money, but let's just say you have an extra free day and want to make some cash, go for it. Okay, so now day 6, the day that I've been dreading this entire time. I left at 8 a.m., you know, kind of usual time, and headed straight into the middle of DC. I am now in Michael's. This is my 2nd order of the day. It is Friday. This one's easy. It's just a pickup order and then I deliver it. I went into this day expecting to just have everything suck and be terrible and take forever because my maximum had only ever been 6 orders and I needed 8. I think both of my back tires have holes in them and they're leaking, which might not be good. So I figured this is gonna take another day past this, but I was determined to at least try and see. Okay, I'm on my 3rd order and I just delivered it. I'm in a penthouse and look at the bathroom. That's so cool. Oh my God. Oh wait, how do I close it? I did non-stop orders. I even queued them since apparently I unlocked that feature where I could accept another order before I even finished my current one. I just did a Sephora order.
So that's weird, but I don't know, who cares?
So I basically just didn't have a break. I had a 30-minute break to eat the entire time I was there.
Okay, this is it. I'm on my 30th order. I just accepted it. It's at Giant. Damn, I didn't think I'd manage to do this. It's 6 p.m. So hopefully I'll be on my way home at 7. And then that's it. I get $1,000. Oh, thank God. This has been really rough for me. It took way longer than expected. I'm just so glad it's gonna be over. Okay, this is the last one right here. This is all it. I'm delivering it to some apartment building around here, and then I'm done.
I did it. I completed 8 orders in one day, pushing me to the 30 out of 30 completed orders. So if you include the ride home, basically a 12-hour workday. I was feeling super proud of myself. I'd pushed myself through the struggles of the previous days. So this begs the question, the very big important question, is it worth it? In all honesty, there are only 2 scenarios where I could see this being worthwhile. The first is if you live in a crazy large city such as Miami, New York, LA, Chicago, stuff like that. And with that, you will need a gas or energy efficient vehicle. And the second scenario is if there's a promotion going on like this $950 guaranteed earnings. So let's do the math on how much I actually made during the promotion, including expenses, including everything. Alright, so I'm gonna read off some figures. In total, I made $1,076.27, and this includes the promo plus tips, $950 from the promo, and $126.27 from the tips. My total gas spent was roughly $23 per day, and I drove about 150 miles each day that I went to DC, which was 6 of the days. The average gas in my area is around $3.10 per gallon, so that means my car used about 20 to 21 miles per gallon. That's pretty normal, and honestly I kind of expected those values. I ate the same exact thing pretty much every single day I went to DC, which was a $5.80 meal from McDonald's. It's cheap and I got it through the coupon that the app gave me. And also we have to include the tacos that I ate one of those days, which brings my total to about $44 of food expenses. I did track my miles using the Stride app. I'm not sponsored or anything, so I did save a little bit there as well. The IRS gives 65.5 cents back per mile, at least for the 2023 year. So I had about $628 in deductions to my total income at the end of the year. And since I'm in the lowest tax bracket, since, you know, I'm broke, I would save 12% of $628, which is $75.36. So that actually almost makes up half of my gas pretty much. Okay, so now let's do all of the addition and subtraction. I'm gonna read off some values. $1,076.27, which is the full total I made, minus $138 in gas, minus $44 in food, minus $3 for parking, plus $75.36 that I get back in taxes, which brings it to a total of $966.63. That is my total net profit from all of this. But that is pre-tax. Since this is all through an app, there's no boss, there's no HR department, you have to do self-employment taxes on your own. The current tax rate for self-employment is about 15.3%, which is $147.89. So the new total after tax is $818.74. However, I will use all my pre-tax amounts for calculations since usually when you're talking jobs, we always, talk pre-tax anyways. So I spent 66 total hours, including the driving to DC and back and just waiting around for orders. So yeah, 66 hours in total doing this challenge. I definitely think that if I was closer to a city and got my Instacart physical debit card earlier, that I probably would have only made 40 hours to complete all of the orders, but that's just not what happened. Maybe for you, but not for me. So the final tally, let's just assume absolute best conditions, $966.63 pre-tax, and 40 hours of doing Instacart if you already live in the city and are familiar with how the shopping works at least. That is $24.17 per hour. That is actually pretty decent. That is actually pretty much a mid-range job. If you manage to keep the 24.17 hourly wage, 8 hours a day, 260 days a year, which is how much working days there are in a year, you would make 50 grand per year. Of course, pre-tax. Will you be able to manage 24.17 an hour? Probably not, unless you're somehow a god at shopping and also in the dead center of a city at all times. Now, if you include my values, let's use my actual numbers that I achieved during this of $966.63 before tax, and my extra hours wasted twiddling my thumbs and also driving there is $14.64 an hour. At least for me, that isn't really worth it. Most minimum wage jobs in my area pay $14 to $16 an hour. And if I got a serving job, like my brother works at Buffalo Wild Wings, he makes $20 an hour. It was a cool experiment and a side hustle to test, but it just wasn't really worth it for me. I think that if I cut down on my driving, I tried to stay pretty local and instead just kept my app on at all times of the day and did 4 large $30 batches instead of like 8 $12 ones, then I think it might be worth my time. Maybe I'll redo this challenge if this video gets enough views of what Instacart in Fredericksburg with ideal conditions looked like when I'm trying to make the most amount of money possible instead of trying to fill conditions for a promotion. But anyways, now you should know all about my Instacart experience, how it went, and if it is worth it for you. Anyways, this channel is all about making educational and entertaining finance content, so hit the bell to receive updates on when I upload and go subscribe down below. And make sure to not forget that you can go down in the description, go DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn if you want to buy, sell, or lease a home no matter where in the world you are. Alright, that's all I got. Have a nice day. A lot of rats over here. Hello. Hi. It's a big ass rat. Oh, there's another. Hello. Look at how many of those things there are. Look how many birds. So I'm here. Oh my god, I'm blinded. I'm here now. Yo, I'm in front of the Church of Scientology. I just realized that. Look. F them guys. They suck.